Citizens, and welcome back to the verse, the 4.1 orbital assault verse. We're in the verse. Ooh, that's looking good. Gonna start out here. It is not a great day for me to be starting this because it is Saturday and it is degraded performance today, as it is with many days around the start of a new patch. Alright, so let's just grab a random character here and see what happens. Let's kind of do this a different way. Yeah, we'll start with DNA. Random. Well, I went too far. Can I go back? The eye color's nice there. That's kind of a cool eye color. I like it, except for the eye color. Let's fix the eye color. Perfect. All right, hair. We're going to keep that hair. Let's do it styling. Got a nice serpent tattoo. Can you see that? That one doesn't really show up. I like it. Let's go with that. Review. Accept. Good to go. Yeah. We're going to skip the tutorial. We're going to stay in the Stanton system. We're going to choose... Which one? Hold on. It was D&D last night. So let's just roll this dice. And it is Area 18. We're going to be at Area 18. That's where we're starting out. We're going to play the game. We're going to confirm that we're starting at Area 18 in our corp. And we are connecting. Ooh, new thing here. Let's see. Lots of talk about the broken regeneration. Talk about headhunters. You know, not mentioning that they have the coolest paints, but whatever. Talking about the new resources. I do know that there's new resources in this game. I'm assuming, for the most part, a lot of them are in those new mines that you have to do the kind of combat mission to get the mine open. And then a little something about triggerfish, which is coming up in a few days. So overall, I think this year the triggerfish joke has been leaked. That was tied to Arena Commander. I don't know if that is the only thing they're doing, but that is out there. I have, and I'm going to be very honest about this, avoided as much as usual as possible about what's in the upcoming patches. I know a lot of content creators head right to the PTU if possible and start creating things beforehand so to get people ready. I would like to do that, but I also like to kind of be surprised. I almost said subscribed. Hey, if you haven't subscribed already, use that little bit of a flub there for a reminder that you should subscribe to this channel. I like to be surprised. I like to kind of experience things with you as we get into the actual gameplay, which isn't necessarily the best in the first few days of a patch, but we're going to give that a go. Load times seem to be a bit long right now, but we'll just keep chatting while that happens. So I do know about at least one new mission giver, which is, what's his name? Weeklo? Something like that. I do know that there's new mining. I do know about the new ships. And so while we do this, maybe I'll kind of talk about those after I cough my guts out. There is the new Golem, which, as a Lord of the Rings fan, I'm super jazzed about the name. And there is the Atlas Geo, which came out, which I think is kind of cool and not at the same time. There's also changes I know to the Prospector with different, not Prospector, the Rock with different mining lasers you get. We finally have some size 0 mining lasers, which I assume can go on both the Geo and the Rock. I didn't look into that. But the Golem, let's talk about that first. It is a starting mining ship. It is like a mining starter, and so I predicted that the price would be a pretty cheap price for a starting miner, and it turns out that was the case. Oh, they fixed it so you can actually pick up the coffee. That's good. It's 55 war bond right now. 60 will be the regular price. War bond will get you LTI. So if you're even looking at doing a CCU chain to something bigger in the future, the war bond, the extra $5 to get that, might be worth it for you. But I mean, currently you can upgrade from the Atlas to another ship, which would be even cheaper war bond upgrade start. So that's pretty awesome. I think item recovery, whatever it's called right now, is currently a thing. Yes. So if that is the case, we won't lose things, but I'm not really worried about losing things anyways. What I want is to find... Okay. It would be great if they designed this that when you're doing this, if you have custom, the other stuff isn't underneath there, so you have to remove custom. I want something heavy. These are all light, correct? Medium, light, light, medium. Oop, there was a heavy. Sure. Let's grab that. And the reason why I want the heavy... Now I gotta turn this back on, is I want a large backpack. So that, I believe, is a heavy backpack. Perfect. Now we can get rid of that. Get rid of that. Weapon-wise, what do we want? I do like the C54. We have a bunch of these from the cargo decks. I don't think I'm going to have any ammo. Ooh, what is this? Oh, that's the combo. Okay. I do have a lot of these because I've looted a ton. And let's turn ourselves a bit. I'm going to put a tractor beam on there. So we got tractor beam. I don't really need the medical tool at the moment, but I do have a bunch of stuff here. I don't know why some of these always kind of get ghosted in blue, but... What else do we have here? Sustenance, probably a drink or two, the coffee, and my Luminalia mug. Alright, I think we're good to go. We're going to leave here. Now, I have not been here since the start of this patch, so I can... Oh, hello. So I can guarantee that the turtles are gone. But that doesn't mean we're not going to check. We're going to check for the turtles. Now... I was talking about the Golem, and so, yeah, I knew it. Ooh, I have not seen... See, this is the one good thing about Iron Recovery. We get to see a bunch of stuff. Oh, I thought that was the Duster. I was going to say, I haven't seen that brown coat. It's super rare. So I thought I'd seen one in game. I knew it was going to be relatively cheap because it's supposed to be a starter, and I love the fact that CIG is making starters. As well as ships that are kind of parallel to other ships, so like the Fortune and the Vulture. There is advantages for kind of both. In my opinion, I still love the Vulture. That is the ship for me. But for some people, the Fortune may be the ship. So people were thinking Golem and Prospector, and I still think Prospector is superior. But as a starter, to get into mining, the Golem looks pretty awesome. There are a few limitations to the ship, and a couple that I hope in the future are limitations to that ship, because you always want a reason to kind of like, you know, use one ship over another. And the biggest comparison people have been making is why would you use a Prospector, or why would you spend however much, I can't remember how much a Prospector costs, instead of getting a Golem when it's like about half the price, and it's basically the same ship because it's got like apparently the laser's kind of like a helix laser, and it holds 32 SU. But I still think the Prospector is a much better deal, But if you want to get into mining, and if you think that is the starting game loop that you want to do, the Golem as a starter is pretty awesome. I haven't tried it out. I did not buy one, and so I can't actually use one myself because I don't believe we have any loaners for them unless maybe you are a subscriber, which I'm not. But it's got a size 1 mining head and 2 16 SU boxes. This is one thing I like about when patches come out. Got so many people here. Hey guys, come on in. You coming? Are you trapped? I don't think this person can get through the doorway. Oh. Yeah. Well, that's really unfortunate for them. Well, that's too bad. Because I was about to say, I love during new patches, when people are starting over, people are kind of starting together, just being on crowded trains. I love that. Anyways, Golem has 2 16 SU crates, which hold the 32 SU of ore. And so people are saying that's basically equal to a prospector. What was that noise from? There's a door opened. Alright. I'd have to look it up somewhere. I don't have it in front of me right now, but the prospector, the 32 SU is its current capacity, and I know it was planned that those bags drop, and then somebody else could pick them up, or you could drop them into a cargo container, and then you get new bags coming out, and then you fill those up. That was a different one. Instead of coughing, I sneezed. Alright, and then... Oh yeah, by the way, I am quite sick right now, so if I sound weird, or if I suddenly stop talking and mute myself, it's because I'm either coughing or sneezing. I think it's allergies more than sickness. If I'm being honest, I don't think I'm sick. I think I just have allergies from springtime, even though there's a massive snowstorm going on right now. The 16 SU boxes are a lot easier to unload than the prospector, but in the future the prospector is supposed to have spare sets of bags that come out, so you fill up those bags and then you get more. Now the original, what should I grab? What should I do? You know what? What's my biggest ship? Cutlass Black? Biggest? Go back. Why does these screens look so Drake? So Grimhex? I don't know. Let's get to my thing. I know that a lot of the prospector bags were designed before physicalized cargo, so the 4 bags don't really, in my opinion, look like 32 SU. So the idea is those bags fill up, you drop, you get more, fill up, drop, get more, and people are saying that's how you get your 32 SU in a prospector. But the prospector originally was like 128 SU. You fill up those 4 bags, drop them, you get more come out, you fill them up, drop them. I think it was 128. It was a lot more. The end ideal amount of space to drop and reload with a prospector before having to get new bags and load them into your ship was massive. It was over 100 SU of ore. And so if CIG keeps that, then it's going to be great. It's going to be better than the Golem as far as max. I just don't know if that's still the case. I don't know if CIG has decided to change how much the prospector in their balancing will actually hold. Now the reason why I'm grabbing these ships right now, just delivering them and storing that cutlass, is I just want to apply some paints to things. I don't know, do I have any Aurora paints? I might have some Luminalia paints. And I might have some Cutter paints and some Nomad paints. So at the start of any patch, everything gets lost for the most part. Well, not everything gets lost, but a lot of stuff gets lost. And a lot of things get kind of removed or changed. And so paints is a lot of time is one of them. Also, we're gonna grab the Pisces here because we do lose our ammo. The consumables still go away, and we lose our food. So why not go grab the food out of that rescue and put it into our storage here? So now that we got those ships, let's go to vehicles. Let's go through any nomad paints. Yeah. I do like green, but I never really used the ice break, so let's do that one. And let's check out our... I don't think I have any cutlass ones. No. Let's check out our cutter paints. Lots of paints. So we got the Garnet livery for Citizens for Prosperity. We've got the Deck the Hall. We got this yellow. Let's get that one. Sure, why not? Drake Vulture. Let's try our new paint. Whatever it's called. Outlast? Outcast. There we go. Outcast modified. Let's check that one out. And the Aurora, and then we'll do the Prospector last. Icebreak, put that one on. It's a cool looking paint. And Prospector. We're gonna go the Outcast on that one also. Utility. We only have the Arbor there. We don't have a better mining thing. Okay, save changes. Alright, we're good to go on that. Means we're going to have to get some mining lasers to do some mining. I think I'm going to do a little bit of mining here. We're going to grab the food, put it away. So, the trade-off with the Golem currently is that you can't change the mining head. I think that's a cool trade-off. I think that is one that I hope they never fix, because it's a starter. And so, you shouldn't have the best of everything all the time with a ship. I think giving a ship a limitation is great because it's so easy, especially right now, to get ships, to make money to get ships. So, oh, I never actually looked at how much money I have. Did my money transfer over? I haven't really been paying attention to that. So if you have, it's easy to get ships. Why work to the best ship? Why work to, I want to get a Corsair or a Carrack or whatever ship is the ship that you think this is my perfect ship, and never fly anything else? If it's easy to get ships right now, why not make limitations so that when you have your fleet of ships, you choose the ship that's best for whichever job you're doing? With one ship still being, in your opinion, the best ship, and one that you would, is that going to work? Why is it not working? How do I get this to open? Is it this? There we go. Okay. With the Golem, the current limitations are that you can't change the mining head. I also hope, because it is a starter, and you really want people with a starter ship to step up from that to something better later, like the ability to change mining heads, but also the ability to more easily refine. I think the Golem should go to refineries and you can refine there, but maybe don't make those 16 SU boxes compatible with an Expanse or an Arasta. Make them... That's your next step. If I want to be able to use an Expanse, I'm going to have to use my Golem to earn a Prospector and move up from there. There should always be going up from one to the next, with the exception of the Rock. Going up to the DS, I don't know how CIG is going to make that a step up. My only thought ever for the Rock has been that the DS should get a tractor beam that can lift ships, so that you could use it in a hangar to move ships around or load one ship into another ship a little bit easier. and don't give that ability to other things like atlases or regular rocks with a tractor beam, so that that DS has something that nothing else can do. Because at the moment, there's really no advantage to the DS over the rock, and now with the Geo coming out, like, when our DS is going to be used? So CG has to find a way. The DS isn't really a step up from the regular rock. Just get 2 rocks if you can. That would make more sense. What do we want to do? Oh, I totally forgot. I said this. How much money transferred over? 25 million. Amazing. I got a lot of money. That's great. I don't know what I'm going to do yet with all that money. I did have some plans of things I might want to do as far as ships that I might want to get to add to my fleet now that I have this money. And I could have got a lot more, but I didn't really focus on getting a ton more money. But I don't know. What do you think? What ships should I look at? What ships should I try getting for my fleet? I was thinking maybe something like a Herc, getting something like that. That might be kind of interesting. Like, that's more money than I need right now, just to kind of have fun and play the game. We also got missions, new missions here, contracts. I'm guessing it's in collection. So we got Weeklo, and he says he needs a chili birria burrito, and he's near Microtech, and he's got some soda. Those are like the canned soda, I think, the Pips, and Tundra Kopion horn, which I believe also is on Microtech. So maybe we should go there and get some Tundra Kopion. This one here is also Tundra Kopion horn. Everyone's gonna be hunting Kopion. All right, so let's go do that. Let's hunt Kopion. I was gonna pull out the vulture, but now maybe we'll pull out the cutter and get that. We'll do some vulturing later. Do some vulturing. I don't have much ammo. 40. So I could go buy ammo, or I could do my usual, which I go to Paradise Cove and just loot a bunch of ammo and weapons. So maybe that's what I'm going to do, but you don't need to see that. We're going to... I'll head there, I'll do that, and then I'll meet you at Port Tressler, and from there we'll go hunt some Kopions. Now, before I make that jump, and then the Port Tressler side and the Microtech side, I'll talk about... have they not fixed this yet? It's only the base cutter. The Rambler and the Scout, these doors open right away, but in the base cutter, that door is so slow for some reason. I'll talk about the Geo then, but I'm just going to say my thoughts on the Golem. I love it. I think it's great as a starter. I think the price is awesome as a starter. It's 55. I don't know if I've said that right now. With War Bond, but if you have credits, why not pick one up for 60 and try it? Will I get one? No. As much as I kind of really considered it, because I thought, oh, I love little ships. I love little solo starter ships. I love the challenge of using those little ships. I don't need one. And it's just, I mean, I don't have a lot of money. And so, for me, buying that ship isn't really worth it. Is there... Okay, now that I'm saying that, I'm going to quickly look at the RSI website. Is there a starter pack with the Golem? You already know. Maybe. But, let's go shop. Pledge store. Game packages. There won't be one for the Geo, I know that. Minor starting pack, $67.50 US. So it's normally $75, you're saving 10%. That's for getting into mining, assuming the mining ship is good. So I would watch videos of other people that actually own one, trying it out and seeing what you think. But mining can be pretty lucrative, and if that one is able to crack the same kind of rocks as you can with a prospector. It might be, if you know you don't want to be into combat as much as you want to kind of be doing something like that, it might be good. I still say the best starter currently is the ship I'm in now, except for those wonky doors. I love the cutter. Its starter pack is about the same price as currently what the minor one is, but I do like that they're coming up with these starter little industry ships. There's going to be, I think it's the RSI little mini single person salvage ship. That's going to be kind of cool when that comes out. It'll be an interesting one. Technically, I guess the cutter could be a starter cargo hauler. We do have a few cargo hauler starter ships, but yeah, I think it's a great little ship. Potentially on paper, I haven't flown one. I'm not going to get one, but I'm not against the idea of it being one that people get. I think it's kind of a cool ship. If in the future I have the ability to, I might pick one up, but I'm definitely going to pick one up in game and play with it. But the fact that I have a prospector is the only reason I'm not going to get the golem. If I didn't have a prospector, then yeah, the golem might be something I would pick up over a prospector and then work your way to a prospector. Also, it's currently got LTI if you buy it with Warbond, and if you ever want to then go to a prospector, you could always upgrade it. If you're looking at a CCU chain thing, I'm sure the golem, the Geo might be a better deal, so you might get one of those. I should not be in SCM mode because it's taking me forever to get out of the atmosphere. So I'm gonna go to Paradise Cove. I'm gonna grab a bunch of stuff. Maybe I'll bring it over to Port Tressler, and then I will see you there. Ready to do some hunting now. This is the second part, obviously, of the video you're watching, but for me it's been a little bit of a time due to reasons, mostly degraded performance reasons. It just became unplayable, so I stopped that recording. I recorded a little kind of midpoint where I put that video out already, showing the paints that I was able to get the supplier dye missions done. And now, that's why I have the Drake Vulture and the Prospector now claimed in this area. And now I'm ready to do some hunting. Now, last part of this video, I think I was heading here. I am at Port Tressler now. You can see here in Microtech, because I'm going to go get the Kopions on Microtech. I also said I was going to stop off at Paradise Cove along the way and get some supplies, and it was super productive. So if we look here, there's no auto stack feature, and I notice sometimes the guns come sometimes stacked in crates, but they don't tend to really stack on their own. But let's put all these together. We got all our med tools for our multi-tool attachment, med attachments, I guess. Do the ones that are... Oh, no, they do stack. Okay. Alright, so I got 26 of those. I got some med pens. Am I wearing any? No, might as well put some med pens on to go hunting. I got a multi-tool here. We got a lot of the detox pens and the OPO pens and the decon pens and the cortical pens. So we got a bunch of those. We've got some food and water that came out of the C8R. I want to say C8X, C8R, the Rescue Pisces, including actually some of the these pens probably came out of that Pisces as well. So we got some sustenance here. We've got lots of ammo, and I don't have anything but arc-light pistol stuff on me. But we have some sniper magazines, we got some Coda pistol rounds, we've got like the shotgun rounds, we got lots of that. We've got a lot of armor, surprisingly, at Paradise Cove. So we got a number of different undersuits here, number of different cores. This cool little, what would you call this? Kind of a holiday butcher helmet, it says. We got our Morningstar helmet. Got one of the Arden ones. It's not letting me switch my helmets right now. I'm not sure why, but we're not going to worry about that. We got some armor as well. No clothing, but look at this. we've got, not including the rifle I dropped off, which I got from the cargo deck earlier that I brought with me, we've got Scalpel Sniper, another Scalpel, an AO3 Sniper, lots of snipers, the P6 Sniper, another AO3, Scalpel. There is shotguns here. We've got a Devastator shotgun. We've got all the suppressors and sights, including, I think there was some of the Scorched ones. I could be wrong about that, but we have a bunch of them there. Another sniper rifle, arrowhead sniper rifle, another shotgun, another sniper. It's like all sniper rifles here, and a couple handguns. So I believe I do not have a handgun on, so might as well put a handgun on, just in case. Which one did I grab here? It's not letting me... What is going on with... Now, again, degraded performance, so there we go. Night Stalker, LH86, okay. Let's get the P6LR. Let's get the, whatever it's called, the AO3. Let's grab that. And then for ammo, we just got to make sure I have AO3 ammo on. So I have that. Arrowhead, AO3, grab another one. AO3, grab another one. And what did I say I have here? The L86. Do I have any of that? I don't know what it looks like. This is why it'd be good if you could hit sort, and sort would actually put everything stacked, so you could go through it a bit easier. Or a search function would also be good, but I'm not seeing any... Ooh, what was that? No, that's a sniper rifle. Oh, there we go. Might as well grab one of those as well. So, now I've got myself a handgun, got myself a sniper rifle, and just for fun, just in case I get thirsty... Oh, that didn't work out well. That's not working. This is why I might not necessarily have any luck hunting, but we're gonna take our... Ooh, look at that. We still got some pods from when I was testing out the Prospector as I was throwing the paints in my last video. I do like those Outcast paints. I almost said Outlast. Outcast paints are nice. But we're gonna go get ourselves some Kopion now. And while we go get some Kopion, we're gonna talk about the Geo. So we talked about the mole, not the mole, the Golem mining ship. My thoughts on that: I think it's awesome. I think it's a really cool starter. I think that if you want to try mining in game, I hope the price is really reasonable. It definitely has its limitations, and I hope some of those limitations stay. Things like maybe making it harder to refine with something like an Expanse, making you have to go to refineries for that because of the shapes of the bags. I think that'd be actually a good trade-off, because you want to step up to something else, and you need that incentive to step up for something else. But at the same time, it's a great starter. If you want to get into mining, you are limited. I don't know if you can snap other 16 SU boxes onto there and use it for cargo hauling. It might be dedicated miner, so maybe as a starter, as a game package starter, I don't know, you might want to get something else and then have that as another ship. But I like it. The only reason I'm not getting one, at least until it comes in game, is I got a Prospector, so I don't really need one. Okay, I can't see the I think I gotta jump to the planet in order to see the orbital markers. Technically, the station is not part of the planet, so we jump a little bit. And orbital markers, there we go. So, Kopion. We need to get the Tundra Kopion. And if I recall correctly, those are the ones... Oh, see, this is when I should have actually looked things up online. They're the ones that look like snow leopards, correct? So, you'd think they'd be... The Tundra is like up here. It's like at the top of the planet, but from what I recall, Tundra Kopion are in those grasslands, the red and green grasslands, correct? Not at the poles, even though those are tundra? Because they're the ones that look like snow leopards. They're like the white and brown, and oddly enough, they don't show up in the white and brown area. They show up in... Let's go to our map. So if we're looking at this place here, they show up in these areas here. These kind of... So if I go to like... I really wish you could kind of tell which parts are on what part of the surface. Is there anything on these surfaces that is close by? Maybe? Where is that? Calhoun Pass? Let's see if Calhoun Pass brings me kind of where I want to go. Oh, I didn't actually set a route, did I? Calhoun. No, that didn't work. Now I gotta find that place again. Was it this one? Calhoun. Accept. Alright, let's try that now. And again, not working. Well, you know what? We're just going to head down. We're going to head down to these areas straight below here and see if one of these places has the Kopion. If that doesn't work, I'll go to Calhoun. I don't know what the spawn rate for them is going to be. Usually finding the specific kind of animal you want is harder. Usually end up finding a lot of the birds, the Martox, is that what they're called? But as we fly down, let's talk a little bit about the Geo, the Atlas Geo, and my thoughts on it. I do have an opinion about Star Citizen that tends to be kind of 50-50 with the people I talk to. And it is that I find, honestly, sometimes they're making it a bit too easy. And not like I want difficulty in some things, like finding the Vandal mask. Ridiculously hard. But making the distance from the platforms in Orison, this might not be the right area. This is the Rocky Mountain area as well. I'll just fly this way a bit. Maybe I'm at the poles and I wasn't really paying attention. But find the distance from the platforms to space in Orison, they made them smaller because people didn't like that it took some effort to go there. Instead of going to Orison, you know, there's a reason to go. They just made it easier to get people to go. Pyro, when I first tried it out in the PTU, it was actually hard to get around because you'd run out of fuel because it was so big. I thought that was awesome. And they made it so now you can fly around a lot easier. Birds? Ooh, wait. Boyd Birds, Superfly, Martok, 2. Okay. That is... Oh. Oh. Uh-oh. Oh, there we go. That's not a good sign. Grassland, quasi-grazer. Alright, we'll just fly around. We'll look a bit and try to find something here. But yeah, it was harder to find the... or it's harder to fly around and not run out of fuel. I love that, but then they fixed it because it was too hard. I don't think it was, but that seems to be the case. So, the gamification of this game, and I know it's a game, I understand it, but I would kind of like to keep as much of the sim and less of the gaminess as possible, and make other parts of it more game-like. Like, people talk about the beams as opposed to, you know, actual physically picking things up with like with your hands, like if the Atlas actually grab things, or the arm in the reclaimer. I understand that it would be cool if they worked, but the beams make it work, and it's kind of an easy fix, but I like it because it works, because we're able to actually play the game. So I'm okay with that gamification. I was never a fan of the bear masks in the way that they are in game. The field berry, is that what they're called? Those masks. The reason why is because those masks are kind of goofy. I think if there was a reason to wear them, I'd be a lot more okay with them. That reason, maybe, you know, they give you... Oh, see, this is the problem right now. Like, I don't know if I'm going to be able to do this due to the server issues that I'm having. Also, I'm not seeing anything pop up on here. Bird, nothing. If the bear masks, if all helmets had... Oh, see, this is forest. That's not going to work. If the bear masks had a... I'm going to head back up into space. A limited field of view. If we got our interiors or helmets back, we used to have some helmets with interiors, and I think that was great. Having worn motorcycle helmets quite often in my life, I know that there are limitations to wearing a helmet, and I think that would be great to have those back in game. And so I would be okay with the bear helmets if they had some sort of, for piracy, dark vision, but limited range of view. They also are giant, but it's not like they have any restrictions to what ships you can wear them in, or any hitbox differences, and that's kind of where I have an issue with something like that. You got to keep things kind of even. Where I'm getting with this is I've never been a big fan of the idea of having jetpacks in this game so people could fly around. They got the ships for flying around, they got land vehicles, and they're on foot. And so having jetpacks, I'm not a fan of. This new Geos does have a jetpack, and currently there is some limitations to that jetpack. The main limitation being, where are orbital markers on this place so I can get back around the planet? Weird. The biggest limitation I find that I've heard of is that when you're in the air, you cannot turn. You basically can jump, so it's like an improved jump instead of a jetpack. That I'm actually okay with. It's not great as far as getting around, but that's good. Like, I don't want people to be able to suddenly be using the Calhoun. How do I spell Calhoun? Now I gotta look for it this way. I don't want people using the Geos or any... If there's going to be a... oh, it's a C. I don't want people using the Geos or any military version of it to basically be jumping on the tops of Hercules and attacking them from the top when there's no defensible position there, or getting on top of geometry that no one could ever reach them from and holding up there and just lobbing grenades over the side. Jetpacks are going to give access to places that is going to make the game basically too easy. So that's why I'm against the jetpacks, mainly for that reason. This looks like this is better. This might be what I'm looking for. So the Geos is more of a jump than a jetpack, and I think that's good. I'm happy with that. It's kind of a midpoint between hand mining and rock mining, and I think that's cool. It's got some features that the rock mining is better at, and some that they're worse. It's got some features I think that hand mining is better than the Geos. The main thing is the boxes that come out are 1/16 SU, from what I understand. And it's not like it creates the boxes. You have to bring your boxes. I think that's great. You shouldn't be able just to produce them magically, kind of like how the Vulture produces boxes magically. And that way, you can't just be pooping out a bunch of boxes and then go back later and gather them all up. You have to think about it as you're going. This is what I'm looking for. This is the land I'm looking for. I just don't know if I'm going to find any Kopion here. I'm finding, what's that? Quasi-grazers? Grassland quasi-grazers, yes. So I'm going to fly around here looking for Kopion. The 1/16 SU or 1/8 SU, whatever size they are, physically looks smaller than a large backpack. So in theory, I think you should be able to fit a large backpack with some of those boxes. But I don't think, just like the giant bear helmets, I don't think you should be able to fit into certain things wearing a large backpack. So you shouldn't be able to carry extra backpacks with you, but somebody else on foot should be able to while you're doing the mining. That could be a limitation, and that could be why in some cases you might want to hand mine, because in hand mining you could carry more gems than you could in the Geo, but the Geo can crack bigger rocks faster. You could have the different weapons, the different mining lasers on them. That would make it better. Currently it has 2, maybe 3 huge advantages over a rock. First one is that it is more maneuverable in a cave. It can go up and down hills because of its jump feature. Wonder who that is. That makes it awesome. 2 is that it can switch between hand minables and the rock minables. I think that's cool. Got a bunch of rocks here that, wonder what kind of rocks they are. Let's see. Nice deposits. And the third thing is that you can turn around in it. The rock should be more like a bobcat. We can kind of spin it around. And currently you can't spin the rock around. And honestly, it feels bad to drive in the last couple patches. It used to be a lot more fun to drive, but now it feels really underpowered, really slippery on the ground. And so if the Geos handles as well as it kind of like the Atlas kind of does, maybe a little bit faster, I think overall it's an improvement over the rock in that case. What the rock has that the Geos doesn't is more storage and the ability to collect more in one go. Lots of grassland quasi-grazers, so this is, I feel, definitely the place I'm looking for, though. So if I'm wrong, let me know in the comments below that this is not where you find the Tundra Kopion, but this, I feel this is where they are. So I'm gonna keep looking. Quasi-grazers, Boyd birds. Too bad they didn't want any quasi-grazer milk. I like that you can switch between hand mining and rock mining, but overall, like I said, there should always be a clear progression of, alright, you've done this, now you want the next thing. The only ship that I don't see that really happening with, obviously, is the DS. I don't know how CIG is going to make people want to go from a rock to a DS before going to a prospector or the golem, maybe, because I guess the golem would be the next step up. Making too many steps also might be an issue because people will be skipping steps, but that's totally fine. I do like that CG is giving people choices. So the choice is, do you want to fly in a prospector or a golem? Do you want to hand mine or use the Geos or use a rock? Forest Kopion, because I'm in the trees. Alright, let's leave the trees. Keep going this way. No forest here. They should be in this area. The main thing is, though, am I going to get a Geos? I think... How much are they? I forgot to look. I looked earlier, but they're like 40-ish? Um, maybe? I know there's a 2-pack right now for people who want to get maybe an Atlas and never did, and now they're looking to get the Geos. I'm assuming the paints are kind of interchangeable between the two, and I'm assuming if you War Bond, you get LTI. And although you can't CCU to the Atlas, and the reason for that is obviously just to prevent too many easy CCU chains that would add LTI into things, you can CCU from it. So if you are looking in the long term that you might want to get another ship and step up, let's say you're unsure about getting a Golem right now, but you think you might want to in the future, getting the Geos right now and upgrading it might be a good job. I think I might. That's not a no. The Golem's a no for me, specifically because I've got a prospector, but I love mining. It is my favorite thing to go mining. I love being an industry player. I love salvaging. I love mining. I like planning routes for doing cargo hauling. And so, maybe I'll get one. I'm going to think about that and decide. If I do, will I get it on my main account that is my future account? I use this account because this account has very minimal ships. But my other account, the account that I have, see, they're all Force Kopion here, so maybe I'm in the wrong spot. Maybe I'll try to head to the edge. My other account, definitely that's like the ships that I've won through different online contests or the CIG contest. Speaking of which, there's a contest right now. If you think you can speak Vandal, give it a go. I didn't put one out for the Fortuna event, but I might try the Vandal one. I have an idea. So maybe on this page you will see the idea that I have to go along with the Vandal contest. It's kind of a cool contest. It's got a... not a glaive. What's the other one? The scythe as a prize, which I think is pretty cool. But we'll see. Geo's a maybe. Kopions are a maybe. At least the game has stopped freezing on me. These birds are all over. It's pretty late today too. It's already 11:30. What I might do, at least I am in a... why is nothing showing up here? Must be hand mineable? Why is nothing showing up for that unknown signal? Weird. Also, unknown signal just made me think I was playing Space Engineers for a while. Does anyone here play Space Engineers? Anyone watching this? If so, did you pick up number 2? Or are you waiting? I'm definitely going to pick it up. I love Space Engineers. What a great game. Relaxing, challenging. I just like building things. I should build Star Citizen ships and Space Engineers. I seem to be going slow. Oh, it's because I set my max speed. It's relatively low. There we go. This is really exciting for everyone, isn't it? More rocks. More nice... or get nice, as people might say. It's nice, though. It's nice. It's a nice rock. And hopefully, this snow lets up. Because it's been snowing all day. Or more icing. It's been ice all day. Alright, I'm feeling like maybe I'm in the wrong spot. And I have not found a single Tundra Kopion. And Wheelo wants 5. The Riari people want like 20. So if I don't find one soon, I might call it for this day, for me, and take a little bit of a nap on the ground here while I call it, and then I'll continue in the end of the video once I maybe do some quick reading to find out where I can find them, because they should be here. I feel like this is the correct shale. I don't want shale. I realized there's actually new minables around too, eh? I'm gonna have to like look at those. Oh, if only we needed birds. You know what? I'm gonna really kick myself later when I find out that we do need birds, and that I could have been grabbing those the whole time as well. Grab the little throat pearls. This does seem like I am going... It feels like this is what I was looking for, though. This kind of land. Not many trees. Unlike the icy tundra, this is what I remember finding Tundra Kopion. But they're all birds. What's this gluey thing up there? Quasi-grazer? Yep. It is fun to fly. Look, that looks cool. As annoying as it is to not be able to find what I'm looking for, and I probably flew over 12 when I did that shot. It's fun just to fly around. The cutters are terrific. They're great. Quasi-grazers, plentiful. All over. They need to kind of fix their wording so you can read what that says. Maybe at a distance we don't need to have every single one labeled. Forest Kopion. Yeah, I must be in the wrong spot. Alright, so I'm going to fly up into space. I'm going to come back down in an area where I think they might be. And if I don't find any then, I'm going to do a little bit of a camp over on Microtech. And we're going to try again in another location. So what will happen is if I don't find any, we're going to go to me just kind of calling it for the night. This seems a little too tundra for me. A little bit cold. I think I'm in the wrong spot. But I did look at the time. Ooh, I left my engines on. I did look at the time of this recording. This is getting kind of long. So I think... Oh. The wind. The wind is knocking me down. I think we're going to call it here. This has been enough for this video. I think I'm going to have to do a little research to make sure I know where to go find these Kopion, because they seem to be nowhere. And then we're going to come back and actually do the Kopion hunt. We're actually going to get our Kopion. We'll need to get 25 total of the horns, 20 for Riari, and 5 for Wikolo. So that's what we're going to do. But right now, let's turn our engines off. And we're going to call it a night. Beautiful camping spot here on the top of a frozen, windy mountain. This is why I like this cutter. I think it's great, but the Rambler, the one that has like a little table over here, it really needs a window. The Rambler should have a window that you can kind of look out of and enjoy. This one would be nice if there was one here, but it makes sense. There's the engines here. But you could fit a window somewhere on the side of the Rambler that you can kind of enjoy looking out. I think that would be a wonderful addition. But we're going to lay down here. We're going to close our eyes. and call it a night. And thank you so much for making it this long into the end. Let me know in the comments below, are you going to get yourself a golem? Are you going to get yourself a geo? What do you think about either of those? What are you going to use it for? You're going to do some mining, or you're going to use it just to try to get the things for the current Align and Mine event, which I'm going to have to look into? Or are you going to just use it as a stepping stone for something greater? Until next time, thank you so much for watching, everybody. Have an awesome day. Goodbye.